Thank you so much for joining us today. So we want to know a little bit more about you, Lynn. First, your very first question is, what is your favorite sandwich?
Grilled cheese.
Excellent choice. Classic.
Classic, especially if it gets that caramelized, like it has to have a lot of butter on the bread when you grill it. So it gets like really crunchy outside, but then it has to be cooked slow enough so that the cheese is very melted on the inside.
Excellent choice. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
An actress. Yeah, I could see actors on the silver screen and think, I want to do that. I want to be that person.
Well, I've seen you in the impact videos, so I think you got your little bit.
And now we know why I'm not doing that. The impact videos, and for those of you watching who haven't seen, I always play a cameo in a case in my class, and usually there's a wig involved.
They're excellent wigs. They change all the time. So great. What's one source of information that you check every day?
Every day? That one's hard.
Or often, if not every
day. New York Times is my go-to. So I have the New York Times app on my iPad and on my phone. And if I have a break between calls, I might go to nytimes.com, but usually I'm checking the headlines in the New York Times.
Great. All right, I already know the answer to this, but cats or dogs?
Dogs. Definitely dogs. But I'm open to cats. I've just never had one before. So I'm very intimidated by the whole litter box thing. And I just don't know cats, but I pretty much would have any animal with fur. I'm not so into reptiles, but or amphibians, or we had a frog once. It didn't turn out so well for the frog. But dogs, like I'm a total dog lover. Yeah. And I have Sweeney Todd and Lucy Barker right now. My lab.
They're very sweet. All right, describe yourself in 3 words.
Creative, spontaneous, and I don't know, fun loving. That's 2 words, but it's hyphenated. So
hyphenated. It counts. It counts as one. Okay. What's your favorite thing to do in Atlanta?
Oh, that's so hard because with the pandemic, I feel like I'm not.
You can go pre-pandemic if you need to. Yeah.
Probably going to see live theater. So, I'm on the board at Horizon Theater in Inman Park, but I like seeing shows at Actors Express. I like seeing, going to Theatrical Outfit. I like mostly in town, but there are great theaters outside of Atlanta as well that I've been to.
Lovely. What's the best advice that anyone's ever given to you?
I think the piece of advice that had the biggest impact on my life was a quote, and I don't know who said the quote, but it was, "Jump and a net will appear." And I was at a place in my life where I was really stuck and what should I do? And I'd been stuck for a long time. And I think I really knew what I needed to do, but I couldn't quite get there in my head. And that advice really resonated with me. And I did it. And it was a turning point in my life that made all the difference. And that was like 16 years ago. So it made all the difference in terms of where I am now in my life.
I like that a lot. And your last question, it's very easy breezy. If you could have a superpower, what would you choose?
I want that Star Trek porting ability, like where you go into I forget what it's called, like not the replicate. What were those things called in Star Trek? Like where you go and then you be like wherever, like the beam, they say beam me up, Scott. Beam me up. Like, I want to be able to beam myself wherever I need to be. I'm not so bad about it now, but I used to be chronically late everywhere I went. And I'd always, and I read somewhere that people who are late are optimists. And I think that was why, because I'd always think I can get one more thing done before I need to get in my car and go. And then I married a guy who's chronically early to everything. So that had a big impact on me. So now and I wouldn't say I'm early to everything, but I'm more on time, than ever. But that beam thing, like being able to beam somewhere else, like beam yourself to an event across town, skip the traffic, whatever, beam yourself to a wedding in another place. Like, I want that beaming. I don't know if that's really a superpower or a technology.
Teleportation counts. I think it
Okay,
counts for sure.
that's
Yeah.
the one I want. I want the beaming thing.
Perfect.
Yeah, my husband wants the flying cars like in the Jetsons. I want the beaming thing from Star Trek.
It's all what makes you. So ladies and gentlemen, now you know Lynne Segall a little bit better.
All right.